I hate the circus, so I completely understand Chuckie's reaction at the beginning of Circus Angelicus. This is the first segment of the 5th episode of the 3rd season of Rugrats, and interestingly, so far, I think this is one of the only titles of the episode, if not the only one, where I've recognised the title as well as the episode. And it starts off with Chuckie and Tommy and some of the others at a circus, and there is this terrifying clown who has a head kind of like Chuckie's, and then it takes its mask off, and underneath the mask is a head that's kind of like Tommy's, which I thought was pretty interesting, and certainly a very interesting way to start it. And Tommy and Chuckie don't plan on going back to the circus, and Angelica, kind of prompted by something her father says, decides that she should make her own circus. And she ropes in Tommy, Chuckie, Phil and Lil to be the circus acts, and Tommy is a lion tamer with Spike as the lion, and Phil and Lil are doing trapeze work and acrobatics and things. Chuckie doesn't want to do it, but Angelica convinces him to be the human candy ball, and I quote, but he doesn't really know what it involves, but he agrees to do it anyway. And Susie brings along some of her stuffed animals to be the audience. And then we see the garden and the various, apparatus being transformed into an actual circus. And I think it worked really well. We get to see them doing performances. And I won't say what happens with Chuckie as the human candy ball, just in case you haven't seen it, but I really liked how that played out. I thought it was very effectively done and very entertaining. Because circuses are often bright, fun, colourful places, as much as I don't actually like going to the circus, I do love seeing them in animation because they're so fun. There are so many colours and patterns and interesting things to look at, and this episode really takes advantage of that. I think the design of the circus worked very well. I love the characters' costumes. They were all wearing different clothing, both in terms of in the real world and then in the imaginary world when the scene transformed into the circus that they're imagining. They're wearing different clothing both times, and I thought Angelica's outfit in particular looked pretty awesome. So it's certainly a very, very well animated episode. There is an element of manipulation, with Angelica telling the others that they can't play circus because Chuckie doesn't want to, and that's a very mean thing for Angelica to do. We have various circus acts as well, like juggling. The takeaway from that is don't juggle with tomatoes because it won't work. And I was really pleased that Susie was in it as well. She had a really, a good role as the audience. It made a lot of sense. So while I don't like circuses in real life, I do love them in animation. And I have to say, this is a really good episode. It's very well animated. It's colourful. It's vibrant. It's fun. The narrative develops really well. I don't think it would make anybody want to go to the circus, at least based on the opening scene, but it could encourage some children to create their own circuses at home, and anything that encourages creative play is definitely a winner in my book. So I really liked it. Circus Angelicus is one I remembered from my childhood. I even remembered the title, and it doesn't surprise me that I remembered it because it's a pretty solid episode.